real look at the Awesome Window Manager. I posted a poll on my community page a while back asking which window manager you guys would like to see me cover in a future video, and Awesome won by a considerable margin. So before I hop into the meat and potatoes of the video, let's get some background information. Awesome is written and configured in Lua, which I know absolutely nothing about. But then again, I don't know C either, but I've made several videos on DWM, so I guess there's that. Awesome Window Manager has been around for years, and while it's one of the OG Linux window managers, and having only played around with it for about an hour a few years ago, I've never really considered it as an option for a daily driver, quote unquote, window manager. And I was way more of a Linux noob back then. I'm not saying I'm not still a noob, but I'm slightly less of a noob now. And I haven't done a whole lot in terms of preparation for this video, except for watch a couple of Awesome Window Manager YouTube videos on YouTube, like DT's and a few others. And I have perused DT's config file on GitLab just to see what I'm getting myself into. And I have gathered at least this much information. If you know a little Lua, you can pretty much make Awesome do anything you can imagine, because I've seen some really, really nice Awesome configs on Reddit, but I won't be getting that far into the weeds today. Because like I've said before, I am not a programmer. I am not a computer scientist. So if I get some things wrong, please keep your torches and pitchforks put away for another occasion. So with all that said, here's my first look at Awesome Window Manager. I'm going to be looking at this in a virtual machine. This is Dev1 Chimera. So imagine it as Debian testing, but for Dev1. I don't have any desktop environments installed at all. So the only thing that I've done is install Dev1, install Xorg, and get my dot files in place so I can have my scripts and my build of ST and my NeoVim config. Anyway, so with all this set up, the only environment that will be installed on the system is Awesome. So to install Awesome, first I need to log in. We need to do sudo apt install Awesome and Awesome extra. And if you want to have a display manager, let's install LightDM. LightDM and LightDM GTK greater. And if I can spell, it would work much better. See? Things happen properly when you spell things right. So I'm just going to let that install, and I'm going to reboot the system and see about getting into the Awesome Window Manager. Didn't take but a second. All right, that was done. So let's do sudo reboot. And as you can tell, this is actually running with OpenRC. I'm going to go with Awesome, and I'm going to turn off my scaling for just a minute. And this is Awesome. I'm going to turn the scaling back on so it's a little easier to see. And I already have my build of ST installed. Awesome has a lot of stuff installed by default. It's almost a complete desktop environment, and it's really kind of nice just out of the box, because I've kind of learned some of the default key bindings, and if you want to get a look at that, hit your mod key and S, and that brings up all of your default key bindings. And the first time I did this, the gears started turning in my head. Maybe I should write a little script for my Spectre WM or my DWM config to give me something similar to this. that would just pull up the default key bindings just to see if I can do it. Stay tuned. You're going to need to copy the default config from the root directory and put it in your home directory. And this is, everything that I've gathered watching a few videos. So if I say mod R to get a run prompt and I run st, and I'm going to make this tile, because you can actually hit the button over here to make it tile, or hit mod and space to change your layouts. And you're going to have a nice little menu up here, or you can have a right click menu here. It's the same thing as this one up here. But yeah, and this is all really nice. I mean, you can it's useful out of the box, where you can actually launch applications, you can get some stuff done. And if you didn't want to customize it, you're pretty much ready to go. But why would you not want to customize it? I don't know. But anyway, let's find the default config. And if memory serves, it's going to be in etc xdg. And I have an awesome folder. Let's cd into awesome. And I have an rc.lua. So I need to cp. Actually, let's make a directory first. So mkdir-p home/config/awesome. And then let's copy rc.lua to home/.config awesome. So now if we cd into .config awesome, nvim rc.lua. And see, I haven't even set anything up here. This is brand new. So actually, let's get this set up. Plug, install. All right. Okay. So now I have my Vim config in here, and let's just kind of take a look through the default config, and I'm going to change some things along. So here we call the standard awesome libraries. These are Debian menu entries, runtime errors after startup. So if we have any kind of errors in our config, it's going to default back to the one in the root directory, which is really kind of nice. So if you accidentally mess something up, it's just going to put you back to the default, and you can go back and change what you messed up. And our terminal, I'm going to change this. There we go. And I'm going to change my editor to NVim. Now my mod key is set to mod 4, which is the Windows key. And from the looks of all of this, there is a ton of key bindings in here. So I think the key bindings that I'm going to add are actually going to be using a different modifier. So let's make a different modifier. So I'm going to come down here and say alt key equals mod 1. And here, this is all your layouts. And right here it says order matters. So right now, the top one is the floating layout. What I want to do, I want to have this be the first layout, because it's the standard tile. So let's go up here, delete the line. I'm going to come all the way down to the bottom and paste that in. So now, if I hit mod, control, and R, that's going to there we go. I didn't have it written. So coming on down the list, you see we have the My Awesome menu. You also have a menu bar configuration, which would be mod P, and this is your menu bar. So you can create a Y box or W box for each screen and add it. And I'm not going to get into this because I'm going to need to know a little more Lua before I can actually have a intelligent conversation about this, or intelligent to me. And here you can see the awful.tag. See, this is your tag list here. So if you have a nerd font installed, you can actually replace these numbers with icons if you want. And I may do that later. Probably not in this video, but I may do that later. Create a prompt box. Let's see, a tag list widget, a task list widget. Connect WeBox. Your mouse bindings, your key bindings. So mod key S is your hotkeys. Mod key left is tag view previous. Tag view next for mod right. And mod escape is tag history restore. Okay. Mod key J is okay, so it shifts focus. Mod K, so it's the Vim bindings. Mod W, my main menu show. So let's say mod W. There it is. Okay. Layout manipulation, mod shift J, K. Okay, so this is Vim bindings. Mod return is your terminal, and we changed that from xterm to st. The mod control all R restarts awesome. Mod shift Q quits awesome. Mod L tag increment. Okay, so if I open another window and I say mod L, okay, H and L. All right, same thing I have. It's the same thing I have set up in DWM. Okay, cool. Layout increment -1, mod space increment +1. Okay, so you can mod shift space to change layouts, and adding a shift will go in the opposite direction. Okay, cool. All right, so mod N focus restored client. Okay, mod R is the run prompt. Now, what I want to do, I want to set this up with dmenu. So I'm going to open up another terminal and say sudo apt install suckless tools. All right, so let's go into visual mode and copy that. And then let's say, that didn't paste the way I wanted it to paste. All right, so all I did was copy those 3 lines, and I'm going to change the top one to dmenu. I'm going to have this mod key, I'm going to say P, awful.screen focused. We're going to change all this. awful.util.spawn, and in parentheses, we're going to do dmenu _ run. We're going to change run prompt here to launch dmenu. Now, let's see if I have, where's the other mod P? I know it was running something. All right, let's change that to D. All right, mod control R, and then mod P. All right, that gives me dmenu. Cool. Now let's do one for PCman FM, which actually I don't even have installed. So sudo apt install PCman FM and Firefox ESR. All right, so I've copied that, and let's call this Firefox. And let's change mod key to alt key. And let's make this a W. And we're going to change dmenu run to Firefox ESR. And we're going to launch, instead of launch dmenu, we're going to launch Firefox ESR. Right that, mod control R. And that's already done, so let's close that. Go to tag 2, and then alt W. All right, that worked really well. So mod shift C to close the tabs. All right, that worked. Now let's do another one for PCman FM. Go into visual mode. We can highlight it here. and let's do PCman FM. And let's do Alt F and change Firefox ESR to PCman FM. Now we're going to change launch Firefox ESR to launch launch PCman FM. Let's write that. I'll Control R to restart, and Alt F. All right. So we can actually bind keys fairly quickly now. Now, another thing I want to do, I want to set my wallpaper shuffler to a mod key, or to a key binding rather. So let's do the Firefox, one. And I messed that all up. All right, wallpaper shuffler. Now we're going to keep the Alt key. Let's change this to B. And then let's go to, instead of Firefox ESR, we're going to give it the path. So let's do let's do ./.local/bin/wall. Let's write that. Actually, we don't need to write that yet. Let's change launch Firefox ESR to launch wallpaper shuffler. Let's write that. Control R. And now let's do Alt B. All right, that's working really well. Mod 2. Okay, cool. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to change that mod shift C to mod X. So I'm actually going to change mod key X from running a Lua script. We're going to change that mod key to Alt key. And then mod key shift C, we're going to get rid of the shift and change the C to an X. And write that, mod Control R, and then open terminal, mod X. All right, so we're getting back to the key bindings that I'm used to. All right, cool. So now let's get some things going where we can auto start some applications. So if I go to the bottom of the document and say auto start applications, let's say awful.phone.with_shell, and that's got to be in parentheses. And I'm just going to go ahead and yank that and paste another one, do parentheses, and let's launch PyCom and FabEG. That way I'll have my own wallpaper when I log in. So mod Control R. I got to give it the full path. So ./.local/bin/FabEG. And that worked. So Alt B as my wallpaper shuffler. And then if I quit out of Awesome, I have my wallpaper back. Okay, cool. So let's change the theme now. Let's see. CD to .config/ awesome, and then nvim rc.lua. We go down here, you'll see a default theme here, beautiful.init gears file system get themes directory default/theme.lua. So what I want to find is where the themes are. So let's look for sudo find in root -name theme.lua. All right, that's in user share awesome themes. Okay, so let's see, cd/user share awesome themes. And we have default GTK, Sky, X Resources, and Zenburn. See what, I kind of want it to match the GTK theme. So mod X to kill that. Let's change that word to GTK. Let's write quit, mod control R, and that changed our theme. Cool. So now let's do sudo apt install, let's say, Materia GTK theme, and let's also install LX appearance. All right, so now let's mod P and then LX appearance. Let's change this to Materia dark, hit apply, close that out, and then mod control R, and our theme has changed. Match our GTK theme. I like that a lot. But I don't like these title bars, so let's go back into the config file. So nvim rc.lua, and let's look for title bar underscore. There it is. Title bars underscore enabled equals true. Let's change that to false. Much better. I like that much better. And we can still shuffle. And if you wanted to get deeper into it, I mean, without knowing a lot of Lua, there's some really nice copycats out there. So if we fire up Firefox, actually I've got a key binding. There we go. So let's say awesome window manager copycat GitHub. Just scrolling through here, you see you have the multicolor, you have power arrow, and if we click on this, you see that they've actually got a really nice config going with a customized status bar. You know, a bunch of stuff is customized, and it's all based off templates. So if you downloaded this and got everything set up where you can have a power arrow, which I think that looks really nice, or power arrow dark, or steam burn. Steam burn looks good too. I like that a lot too. Or Blackburn, or Dremora, or Rainbow, or Holo, or Copland, or Vertex. But if you want to go through that, there's really good instructions on how to install all of this if you're looking at Awesome Window Manager yourself. But for me, I kind of want to keep it kind of simple while I'm still learning, and I want to kind of learn how to make my own customizations, like up here in the status bar and stuff like that. So I'm just going to kind of take it slow. If I change my config and get it to looking really nice, I may make a follow-up video on Awesome Window Manager, because this is really nice. I mean, it's fairly easy to config, even though I don't know a whole lot about Awesome or Lua. And I could absolutely use this. I'm going to continue to play around with it and see. And I may switch to it, I may not. I don't know. But from what I have seen so far in this little short time that I've played with it, it's really nice and aptly named. So that's about all I've got for today. I just kind of wanted to take a look around Awesome Window Manager and really just kind of get a feel for it and see if I could make my dot files work well in Awesome. And just for the few little simple things that I did, there's so much more you can do with Awesome. If you know even just a little bit of Lua, which I don't, you can really, really do a lot with Awesome. And I may try to learn a little bit and see, or I may just try to, or I may just copy somebody else's config. Who knows? But I have been really impressed so far with what I've seen with Awesome. I really like it, and I could absolutely use this every day. So once I get my config looking a lot better and get my own customizations and talk a little more intelligently about it, I will most definitely make a follow-up video, once I get all that together. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Have a nice day. Like, share, and subscribe.